Hayden and Alex passed away in early January of 2024. The two men suffered from blood loss after a confrontation with the Los Angeles Police Department regarding a public urination incident. In loving honor from the Natural Tears estate, the podcast will continue by releasing old, unreleased episodes from the Natural Tears archive. Tier 3 subscriptions will continue to support the archival team as they discover and put together what remains from the Natural legacy. In remembrance of the late founders of Natural Tears, please join us in this moment of silence. Thank you.
Yeah, you just check it out of courteousness and out of the fact that we are Natural Tears, baby. Welcome to Natural Tears.
These tears, hold on. Oh,
don't suck them back in.
I'm crying right now.
Yeah, let them flow.
These tears are natural.
These tears. Wait, hold on. What has that? There's a couple of songs about tears, and I don't know why. Three of them just came to my head.
Tears
That's
for
a
Queers.
band. Oh,
that's a cover band by a LGBT. It's a Tears for Fears cover band. Yeah.
Do we have to bleep that because we're both straight?
Well, not with our allies in the audience.
All right. Cool.
Has Natural Tears
subs
been forgiven by the LGBTQ community?
Have we committed anything to be forgiven for? Besides what you just said.
Wait, I had a boyfriend once, so it counts.
Oh, well, you know my story, but I don't think my story is ever
middle school. Doesn't count. I'm sorry.
That's gonna be the longest bleep in the history of this entire show.
You don't want that out? Oh no, that's gonna sound even worse with the bleep.
It's gonna sound a lot worse.
Somebody go back in time and stop me from saying it.
I told my siblings like not too long ago that I started the podcast, so they're gonna hear that long bleep, and it's gonna get brought up every Thanksgiving. I'm just gonna have to sit through it. Whatever.
Speaking of Thanksgiving, dude, how was your Christmas?
My Christmas, I got sick the day of Christmas, and it lasted for about a week. But the upsides of me getting sick is I got to finish True Detective Season 2, which was really good. Wow. Oh, and then I also started watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So I was routinely switching between Brooklyn Nine-Nine and True Detective Season 2, which was whiplash-inducing. And I'm not talking about the movie. Yeah, I do love a good spread, Andy Samberg.
Stop.
To be fair. Andy Samberg, if you're listening, please be our next guest and talk about your spread.
Well, once you renew your Patreon subscription, then we can talk, but...
I should say this is... I hate when we get too self-referential, but at this kind of infantile stage that we're at, I always like to throw out a couple of things to our dedicated listeners. There's discussions that are taking place, but also not taking place about a Patreon. But only because of you guys, because like a month before it went public that we were thinking about it, I texted it to Alex, and Alex said, no, we're not good enough for that yet. And I agreed with him until I brought it up at a dinner party, and everyone at the dinner party, even people who didn't listen to the podcast, they were like, no, you're good enough. And I was like,
there's
that's really
unfortunately
nice.
People who I feel like they would actually give us money for literally no reason.
Yeah, which we're just not there yet. We have no merch. We don't have any funny catchphrases or quips. We're not even funny to begin with. So it's kind of just like giving your money to the Salvation Army. It's a waste,
Only controversial statements you'll find on the Natural Tears podcast.
I do feel like I remember. You know what? That's going to start turning into like a rumor mill type situation, and I don't want to start spreading a bunch of rumors about a nonprofit.
Jamie, pull up the Salvation Army statistics.
Pull up the Salvation Army kill count.
Jamie, pull up my kill cam. Yeah, that's three-piece.
And I got him in midair.
That was how many, Jamie? How many times did I turn? Yeah, that's a 720 right there.
So speaking of kill cams, I think people love it when we talk about video games. So we should immediately come right out of the gate and start talking. Oh wait, no, we didn't even finish talking about holidays. All right,
yeah. Table
the discussion. Holidays. I got sick. I watched cop shows because I'm a capitalist propaganda, idiot.
Hayden volunteers at the police station to service the pigs in their locker room.
I just found out that on Patrol Live, which I don't know if you know about, like Live PD, it was that A&E show, and then A&E canceled Live PD like right during the Black Lives Matter protest because A&E was like, no, we're not going to have a cop show on during all this. Like they're in the wrong right now. We're not going to give them a platform right now. And I know there's like the whole like, a few bad apples don't make the grove bad type deal, but I agree with A&E for their decision. Like I wouldn't want to do that. It was not in the wake. It was
both a good time as a company to do that and a good time politically.
Yeah.
Like but you didn't want to anger the audience that was already hot at that time. Plus, supporting the police is not the best idea.
And I want to make it clear, I watch all these cop shows, like True Detective and Brooklyn Nine-Nine, they're fictionalized, but Live PD and On Patrol, they're real. It's just modern day cops. But anyways, On Patrol is the spiritual successor. It was bought out by a cable station that like basically only exists to do On Patrol Live because like that's the only good thing they have on there. But I found out it's all on Peacock, and each episode's like 2 hours and 30 minutes, and there's like 130 episodes. And I've been watching them at work. They're so good. But anyways, so I talked about my holiday. I would love to hear about your Christmas because I was envious of you. It sounded a lot better than my Christmas and New Year's.
Both of my holidays were better than yours. Better than yours, that's for sure.
Way better. Yeah.
But mine was not special, but it was just really solid. I drove down to Northern California to visit some family. And it was the first time that a lot of people have been back to my grandma's house since COVID started. So it was kind of like a minor family reunion, just in it being in the old location that everyone used to go into.
Yeah.
And since I drove there, I had free will, so I was able to explore that city a little bit more, the city that I partially grew up in, which was a lot of fun. And weather was nice. It was raining in California, raining in the Pacific Northwest, so it's like I never left.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Got some cool stuff. I gave some things that I thought were pretty nice. I got my dad, put this on screen, the Deep Rock Galactic board game with all the fixins.
Oh, that's clean.
Yeah,
I like that.
It came in recently, and it is surprisingly good. Like, I don't know. I guess I kind of thought that it would be a little bit of a cash grab, but it wasn't.
Well, I saw the models. I saw the little figures for it, and I was surprised because the game is pretty polygonal, but they translate it over really, really well. They look nice.
The polygonal models works out very well for the miniatures.
Yeah, that's what they are, miniatures, not models. I'm silly, but yeah, no, that's cool. That's nice. Did you get anything?
My dad
special?
started picking up miniature painting because of it. So,
aww,
catch his ass playing Warhammer soon, I guess. Like the tabletop. He was already playing Darktide, but
I was gonna say he was already playing Darktide because I remember this is a fun little Alex and Hayden friendship story. I wanted Alex to play Darktide with me because I got it for free with my graphics card. And Alex's dad had it, and they could have family shared it, but he was playing games, and so I had to get Alex's dad on the microphone, and I said, "Tell him that Darktide's a good game. Tell him it's good and that he should buy it." And repeatedly, Alex's dad was like, "It doesn't have that much content, and it's pretty flat once you reach the end game." And I was like, "You motherfucker!" And there was a spirited debate. And now Alex and I have played Darktide like 3 times, and it's been like 4 months. But we'll come back. We'll come back.
Darktide was a very good game.
Yeah.
I like it. It was a very enjoyable few hours, but I think they want it to be more than a few hours. It just doesn't have enough to support me like to keep coming back. But it is a very solid foundation, and I'll keep saying that.
I personally think that while I understand they wanted to cap the levels at 30 in terms of level statistics, like the little milestones you can hit along the way, I think they should just allow you to, keep leveling up your character and just throw in some cosmetic bonuses. Because I know Warhammer games aren't all supposed to be paper doll simulators. 40K games are supposed to revolve around tactics and combat, but Darktide, I think, is one of the most accessible Warhammer games besides Space Marine, because it's just a very basic cooperative FPS.
It makes sense when you play it. If you play it in your first-person shooters, that you pick it up. If you played Left 4 Dead, which I think a majority of the population in the entire world has played Left 4 Dead,
I would hope so. Yeah.
So most people will just be able to understand exactly what's going on.
Yeah. But because of how accessible it is, I think they should just kind of go outside what they're used to, and they should just pick up some things that other successful contemporary first-person shooters do. Like, more accessibility, more customization. I'm always a fan of the new maps they put in, and I always want them to add more maps, and then I have to kind of lay off the reins a little bit, because if you look at how much detail they put into the maps, not to mention every single time they put one in, there's like 4 or 5 like branching paths that randomize each run. So they're really hyper detailed. And the only reason I want them to keep adding more maps is to make the gameplay loop less stale, but also they are so fucking beautiful. That game is gorgeous. It's not super well optimized, but it's gorgeous.
The art team did a really good job.
Hell yeah.
I mean, Warhammer's already, I'm very inexperienced with it, but it seems like it's already got a lot to work with, and they worked with it well. A lot of the custom-made assets are very impressive.
Yeah. But speaking of FPSs that are accessible, we were talking about the kill cam earlier, and I thought that maybe we should start talking about a game that has the number 3 in it, and it had a complicated release, and people liked the second one better, but like not that much. I'm talking Modern Warfare 3. And not Payday 3. We will not be talking about Payday 3 anymore.
Friendship, put this on screen. Friendship ended with Payday 3. Modern Warfare 3 is my new best friend.
And it's not because we're mad at Payday 3. It's because they're a moss on a log. They're not fucking doing anything. Yeah. They came out with a release saying, "Hey guys, we know the game sucks. Will you tell us how to fix it?" And now it's just, and I'm not trying to drag the Starbreeze team, because clearly they're going through it.
I have no doubt that they are cooking right now. They're in the oven, and it just takes time for them for it to produce anything. And in the meantime, they got nothing to show, and everybody's just kind of sitting here twiddling their thumbs, saying, "When's the game going to be good, boss?" And they kind of are like, "I don't know."
Yeah. They were doing really, really good with updates for a while. And I think that had a lot to do with like damage control, but I don't think that they realize that it's still time for damage control. The game still has a very poor reputation, or maybe they're just allocating their team and just deciding like, you know what, we're going to take the social media person off and just put them put them in Blender and have them make some assets. We need to get this shit out the door.
Because that's how game development works, right? If one team's doing something, the other one, it's all like one communal resource. Yeah. If there's sorry, let me make this explicitly clear. I am really pissed off when people on Reddit are like, they keep putting out cosmetics. What the fuck? There's so many bugs in the game. What are the developers doing? Their priorities aren't in straight. They don't physically understand how an art team can be different from the programming team, and how bugs are way more complicated than just making more assets. So that's what I was getting at.
Yeah. Game development studios are not one homogenous cell. They are not a hive mind. It's made up of a bunch of different people that are talented and split into their own divisions. And, they sometimes the quality varies because the team varies, But anyways, so let's talk about Modern Warfare 3, because I think there's a good amount that can be said about it. especially because of how much Modern Warfare 2 I played with you and how much of a COD fan you are. You know what I mean?
Modern Warfare 3, what a damn... I know we just compared it to Payday 3, but Modern Warfare 3 is also kind of a disaster a little bit.
Yeah.
To catch you up to speed, I'm sure everyone knows that a Call of Duty comes out every year, right? Usually in November or October. And this, for Modern Warfare 2, sorry, more context. So Call of Duty Cold War, Black Ops Cold War, had a pretty short development cycle, I think of about a year or a year and a half, when usually it's supposed to be 2 to 3 years. And then Call of Duty Vanguard, the game after it, had a development cycle of like 9 months. They had to retool a ton of shit, and it was very obvious when that game came out. So when Modern Warfare 2 came out, that was a game that had the full anticipated development cycle. So it was supposed to be feature complete and all that. They also said during the marketing when it came out that they were going to support it for 2 years instead of the normal like live service 1 year until the next game. So the intention was that there wasn't going to be a Call of Duty game that was going to come out in 2023. Long story short, that changed.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
Vanguard, the game before Modern Warfare 2, was made by Sledgehammer Games, and Modern Warfare 3 was made by Sledgehammer Games as well. And Modern Warfare 3, when you put it in the context that it was supposed to be a DLC pack for Modern Warfare 2, it is so obvious, like the cracks in all of the pavement that is Modern Warfare 3. If you took all of the Modern Warfare 2 content out, for the first thing, the entire gameplay is basically just Modern Warfare 2. It's different in little ways where like the movement is slightly different. There's
a different UI font.
Yeah, it's
just
blue
barely.
Instead of green. The font is different. Most of the kill streaks are the same. They added a few new ones. You can use every single gun that was in Modern Warfare 2. If you unlocked it in Modern Warfare 2, then you unlocked it in Modern Warfare 3. And there's only, I think, like 30 new guns, which is not that great compared to the normal like 50 that is standard with a game. And
I mean, if you think about it in the context of being a new drop, like a new game, it should have 50, but because it's basically just glorified DLC, it doesn't.
Yeah. And all the maps in Modern Warfare 3, the new Modern Warfare 3 is all remade maps from Modern Warfare 2 2009, as in like, you know, the old Modern Warfare 2. So
the better Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, it's the whole thing is completely like nostalgia bait. And it is shipped as a full experience. If you heard anything about Modern Warfare 3, I'm sure you heard that the campaign is ass, and that's pretty true. It's very short and very lazy or low quality. Most of it plays like Warzone, which I think anybody who actually likes the core Call of Duty experience doesn't enjoy that.
Yeah.
So it was a big cash grab at a full $70 price tag with $100 buying options for the battle pass and extra goodies and shit like that.
Yeah.
So
it's so not worth it.
It's really not worth $70. And and here's the big, I'm doing all this shitting. The big point of hypocrisy is that I did buy it and I did play it on day one, and I am having a good time playing it because I like Modern Warfare 2's gameplay, and so it's just more Modern Warfare 2. So for me, subjectively, I like it, but that is a very low bar. And if you are not a serious chump like I am with Call of Duty, it's such a bad deal. And I think the nostalgia got Hayden a little bit because he ended up buying it on sale.
Yeah. I love the original Modern Warfare 2, and Alex has heard this story a lot of how I got the original Modern Warfare 2. Do you think that the listeners would like to know? Because it is kind of a funny story.
Sure, run it.
Okay. So I had a kid who lived down the street from me when I was growing up, and He came over to my house all the time to play video games. I came over to his house some of the time to play video games. But he came over and he was like, hey, can I give you this? And I was a PlayStation kid and not like a console wars kid. I just thought it was dumb to pay to go online. Thank you, PlayStation, for ruining that with PS Plus the second the PlayStation 4 came out. So mad about that. That's why I stopped playing on console like altogether. But anyways, so he came over and it was an Xbox copy for Modern Warfare 2. And I was like, I'll take it, but it's just gonna sit next to my games. Like and then he opened it and there's a PS3 game inside of it for Modern Warfare 2. And I was like, dude, how did this happen? And he basically told me that he went to GameStop and picked up like a pre-owned copy and like they rung it up and everything. And they went home and he opened it and it was a PS3 game. And so he told his dad, he was like, hey, I can't put this in the console. I thought it was an Xbox 360 game. It's a PS3 game. And his dad was basically like, don't lie to me so I can take you back to GameStop. You're gonna play the game and you're gonna like it or you're not gonna play it at all. So that day, the day he got it was the day he came into my house and he was like, can I leave it at your... So basically he just wanted to leave it at my house so that he could play it, at my house with me. And so that's what we did. And eventually I stopped hanging out with him as much, but obviously he wasn't going to take the game back because there was no reason for him to. So he was like, yeah, you can just have it. So I played Modern Warfare 2 a lot, and then that's what got me into Call of Duty. I ended up playing a ton of Black Ops 2 with my brother, specifically zombies, because Black Ops 2 has the best zombies. And if that's controversial, I'll take my hits. You can go at me, but I think
you can reach out on the Patreon, and Hayden will send you a hate message back. So,
I mean, we have an email on the YouTube channel that no one's used yet. So.
Ooh.
I know, yeah, isn't that? I've been waiting to see if anyone's, and I check it every once in a while, but nothing.
If you send something, it'll be answered. I'm just saying, we can make a segment for it.
True. I mean, like how we were, with our special guest from, the episode prior. Yeah, I mean, you just send something in, and who knows, maybe we can cover it. It'll be worth talking about. But anyway, so my roots with Call of Duty are in Modern Warfare 2. I not rebought because it's a different game. I bought the new Modern Warfare 2 because it was really cheap. My brother had it and Alex had it. And I was like, whatever, I'll just get back into it. And I ended up really enjoying it. It was nice to have like some stupid TV show on one monitor and then COD on the other because they both required zero attention for me to enjoy them. Like COD's a mindless game. If you're not going for crazy picks, it's just the easiest. You just run around, you get a hip fire shotgun, you point and click. It's the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, so I was really enjoying my time with MW2 and we had more friends that were getting into it. My cousin got into it, like a whole bunch of people playing, really, really lovely time. But I was frustrated that there were basically no legacy maps. Because that's the reason I bought it. I was under the influence they were going to at least attempt that. And then so when Alex told me that MW3 had the MW2 2009 maps, I was like, oh. And then my brother accidentally bought it. He didn't mean to buy MW3. He just accidentally clicked yes on his PlayStation and bought it. And so he was like, fuck, so now I have this game. So then I'm back to the original issue I had where Alex and my brother own the game. That's two people I like to play games with, so I'll get it. But yeah, so I got Modern Warfare 3 and I'm warming up to it. And I think as somebody who has like a weird sordid history with Call of Duty, like I paid $100 for Black Ops 4 and I played it for like less than 20 hours.
The $100 Black Ops 4 thing is something I'll never let Hayden live down. It's so fucking funny to bring up.
I paid $70 for Fallout 76 and I paid $100 for Black Ops 4
and Payday 3.
That's true. I did, and Payday 3 still feels worth it because I played a lot more of that game than I have Fallout 76 or Black Ops 4. Yeah. I mean, definitely more than Fallout 76, because originally all my hours were on the Bethesda launcher because I was a day one guy.
Oh, and shout out.
And so yeah. I mean, not that playing Fallout 76 day one was an achievement by any means. It was an achievement if you got to boot it up and you didn't have it crash, But anyways, so back to Modern Warfare 3. All I want to say to end my thoughts on it is do not buy the game unless you already own Modern Warfare 2. Because it is just DLC. If you don't own Modern Warfare 2, it's a waste of time. You might enjoy getting more of like, you know, you'll be able to unlock all the guns and stuff. And so it'll seem like you have all these guns and all these maps. But like really in the long run, you kind of don't. You know what I mean? Like you're just going to have to slog through it. And unless you only play COD every day of your life, you're not going to get all the guns by the time they release the next COD. And chances are the next COD probably isn't going to be cross-compatible because Modern Warfare 3 sucks ass. So why would they add on to it, you know?
I really don't think there's going to be any carry forward next year.
Yeah. So that's what I think is, dear listener, dear beautiful cherubic tier 3 sub, don't buy Modern Warfare 3. Even though the boycott on Blizzard is over, don't do it.
It's pure live service. It's everything. Yeah. It's everything that all these AAA developers are wanting to be. It's live service, and if you're not already down to clown, like especially if you didn't play Modern Warfare 2 2022, like most of the guns from that game, even though you can use them in Modern Warfare 3, they're not as competitive as the Modern Warfare 3 guns, because the Modern Warfare 3 guns are like genuinely better than the Modern Warfare 2 guns in most ways. You can like keep up, but like it's just you're not getting like it might advertise to you like 90 weapons or whatever, but you're not going to be able to enjoy using most of them. So
yeah.
Don't get fooled as Modern Warfare 3 is a standalone experience.
Yeah. Instead, go buy like BattleBit or something. BattleBit's way cheaper, and the community seems like they enjoy the game a lot more. Because that's the other thing. Like Modern Warfare 2 used to have lobbies that would pop off, you know? Like, and I'm talking like the 2022 one, you know, like the ecosystem of the players felt like a classic COD lobby, which for a lot of people is not appealing, which is fair because classic COD lobbies are toxic. But Alex and I like a little bit of toxicity, kind of keeps our eyes open, keeps our ears perked, you know? We're not going out there attacking people, but if two guys from Georgia start beefing at each other in like these really, really deep Southern accents, Alex and I are going to listen to the whole thing and laugh our asses off, and we could lose, but it'll make the game that much better.
When the game ends, you say, "That was a great game, guys, and Jesus loves you," and then somebody calls you the N-word. There's really you can't beat that experience.
Exactly. Yeah. Just because what you're really doing is it's like the term lightning in a bottle, right? You're catching aggression in a bottle. You wait till the very end of the game and you say something really positive, and someone comes at you out of nowhere and attempts to ruin your day, but it just makes it so much better because it's like, what the fuck are you so upset for? But Modern Warfare 3, it's like every single lobby we went into was dead silent. And it was kind of uncomfortable, like playing COD in a silent lobby, no one saying anything, you know. It's like kind of a ghost town experience.
Was it last night? Most of the lobbies were pretty dead silent. We weren't playing Search and Destroy though, but yeah, I tried to liven things up by, I can't remember how it started exactly, but I started going, USA, 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 football,
Super Bowl. Yeah.
And I think during that, there was just one guy just like going like, what are you talking about?
He was off like 50 grams of Ambien, and he was like, oh. You might have woken him up from a comatose. Actually,
yeah, I saved his life.
His eyes rolled back in his head and his mouth started foaming with his controller in his hand. And as soon as he heard you say Super Bowl, he fucking, what? Huh?
Stopped choking on his own vomit. Yeah, saved his life.
Oh my god. Oh, but yes, I mean, I think that kind of does it for Modern Warfare 3. Because what else is there to say? You know. Like it's not a nuanced thing like Payday 3 where like we feel bad for the developers and it has potential. Like I don't really feel bad for Activision. And I don't feel like the game has potential, and I don't think it's good.
Nope.
But will I play like 150 more hours of it? Probably.
If you wanted to, I know I just told you not to buy it. It's just like you need to understand that it's not good, but it's still like pretty good as a shooter. It's just
Yeah.
like not good for you or good for the economy.
Yeah.
And there's rumors, there's like little leaks here and there that one of the seasons is going to be themed after Advanced Warfare, as in like Sledgehammer's 2013 game. Or no,
Gross. No, I mean, you're probably right about there. Yeah, I remember having it on PS4.
I think it was 14.
Yeah, you might be right.
So if that was your game, maybe, it's on Steam, thank God.
Yeah, thank God.
Put it on, it'll be like 40% off. Maybe your Christmas bonus just hit. You put that on there.
Yeah.
But
if you're a Call of Duty player and your favorite game is Advanced Warfare, you probably already bought Modern Warfare 3 because you're a chump. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Yeah.
Advanced Warfare sucks.
Stupid.
I remember I played to like maybe the third mission in the Advanced Warfare story mode, and like keep in mind, like I just said, I had a PS4, but I didn't have PS Plus because I was pissed off about having to pay to go online. Because I was a PC gamer for the entire time, I was also a console gamer, so it made no sense to me. I was like, I already pay my ISP. Why the fuck are you charging me to go online? So I didn't play online. I played the story mode, and I was like, oh, this is garbage. This sucks.
Advanced Warfare story mode?
I did not like it. I think the main reason I couldn't get into it is just because I got big like Titanfall vibes, and I was like, it just in terms of like the setting and the tone, I felt like they were trying to set. Yeah, I don't know.
I guess I think that was the same year as Titanfall, or maybe the year after.
Yeah, it was at least close. I remember that. And it's such a shame that Titanfall, by all means and purposes, kind of got blown the fuck out of the water and is most likely never going to get a resurgence because Apex is now way bigger than Titanfall ever was.
That's the only hope, is that Apex is so big that maybe they'll make a campaign to sell you. But that's,
yeah,
it's not the same team as it was. You don't even have the animators that made that game so special anymore because they're all working for Call of Duty now, baby.
Yeah, and they're making excellent Call of Duty games. Like we've just been talking about for the 15 minutes, Modern Warfare 3 is such a good game.
Yeah. You didn't like Kevin Spacey in Advanced Warfare?
So I'm a big Hollywood nerd. Like I really, really like movies and TV shows. Like I just love all media. And I didn't know that Kevin Spacey was a problem, and I still played that game, and I was like, why the fuck is he here? Couldn't they have gotten anyone that would have been a little bit better suited for a Call of Duty game? You know what I mean?
When they put people in like that are wholesale just those actors, it's like, you're not looking at character like, he's like the CEO of Atlas or something. You're not looking at the CEO of Atlas. You're looking at Kevin Spacey in a suit in your Call of Duty game.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I think
it's like when Fortnite put YouTubers in the game.
Ali A. Put Ali A on screen. Now take him off screen. He didn't deserve more than like 2 seconds on screen. Fuck him.
Yeah. Dumbass. Fortnite community is going to ransack our studio.
Nah, it's put a picture of Meow Skulls on screen to make up for it.
Yeah.
Just don't put anything sexual. Just the regular render. Thank you.
Yeah, nothing risque. Not for our audience.
Nope. This is a G-rated show.
If you're actually going to be a tier 3 sub, you need to be abstinent. If you're not abstinent and you call yourself a tier 3 sub, we're going to stone you in the town square. We're going to put you in the pillory and we're going to stone you.
Make sure you attach, if you're not already wearing your tier 3 chastity belt, put it on now. All right.
Trademark the tear stopper.
Gross.
I'm sorry.
Hayden keeps bringing up pillories, and it's making me uncomfortable.
It's just been really funny because in the modern age, you can't say anything about like a Wild West hanging, because hangings are like really morbid and still happen, and they're sad. Not like government or like state hangings or anything. Like not like it's like punishment, but like it's still like a prevalent thing. But anyways, all I'm trying to say without getting too dark or serious or anything is just that pillories are fucking funny. You know what I mean? Like, and the main reason I found out about like that I rediscovered pillories in my mind, because sometimes you just don't need a reason to think about anything. But they have those in Fallout 4, and
really
in Vault 80, and in Vault 88. I every once in a while I just throw like 3 or 4 vault dwellers of Vault 88 in the pillory. The vault you can make yourself.
Oh yeah, you can put them in the pillory.
You can assign them to it, and then
What?
they walk over there and they open it up and they put their hands in and close it.
Why?
Like because you're their fucking overseer and they have to listen to you.
So like Fallout 4 lets you be a bad guy. It's fucking weird.
Well, I mean, kinda. You know, Nuka World, kinda.
That was like,
I was never.
oh fuck,
Did you like Nuka World, by the way?
I didn't play Nuka World. I don't have
no.
Nuka World or Far Harbor. I played Fallout 4 like 9 times. I don't have either of the DLCs because every time I'd
Oh my
like be like,
God.
oh, maybe I should pick it up. It's like $40.
Yeah,
I know it's not anymore,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
every time it's on sale, I am not thinking about Fallout 4. Maybe one
Honestly,
day.
I might just need to buy you both of those because Nuka World is not that good, but it has a shitload of stuff to do. So if you're at the end game and you just want things to do, that's where you can go. If you're a character who plays a lot about role playing, you'll probably dislike Nuka World because the only option you have is to either be a bad guy and own slaves or kill everybody and free the slaves, and then it ends all your quests and it's just like you bought the DLC for fucking nothing.
Don't worry.
So that's the issue I have with it.
I don't really like New Vegas all that much. I'm not a role player.
Fair. Well, and then okay, but I'm telling you though, Far Harbor I think is one of the reasons to play Fallout 4. If you're not playing Fallout 4 to experience it for the first time, you probably should be playing it to play Far Harbor because it has some of the most intricate storylines. It has some of the best settings. You know, because it's a large area and some little spots slap more than most, but it's great. I think that's where that game thrives, you know, and I think every Fallout game has their award-winning DLC except for Fallout 3 because Fallout 3 is not a good Fallout game. But, you know, I think every Fallout game, well, I guess now that I think about it, if you don't count Fallout 3, then the only Fallout games that have DLC are New Vegas and 4. So
Dude,
silly.
Fallout 76 Wastelanders expansion. Let's go.
Oh boy. Yeah, I know I talked about Fallout 76 earlier and I could talk about that a lot. But it also wouldn't be very current because I haven't played in a while. I think I played for like 3 months after Wastelanders with my fiance because she was getting into Fallout. She started with Fallout 4, which she really loves. I'm excited for her to play the other ones. But she decided that we would play Fallout 76. I was like, yeah, sure, that sounds fun. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. And we played a good amount of it, but then we just realized like there are still elements of the game that just because of the way the creation engine is, like hit markers sometimes will show up, but then the health bar doesn't drain until like a couple seconds later, which just makes your gunplay feel weird because then it just like interrupts the speed of everything. And there's still model glitches and there's still weird crashes. And then they moved to like a battle pass system and they did Fallout first, which I get that it's supposed to be a game that's receiving constant updates, but that was such a bad look for a game that released under the state that it did, you know? So I couldn't keep getting into it, but I might revisit it because it is one of my favorite Fallout locations. Appalachia's a fun place to have that storyline take place.
It's yeah, the world is pretty good. Hit detection, the gameplay mechanics are iffy. I think there's definitely worse MMOs. You could be playing Amazon's MMO. You could be playing Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
But
come on, talk about the MMO that you really want to make fun of. Because I know that there's one on the tip of your tongue because it's been taking me away from you.
Oh, I don't want to pioneer bringing this up, bro. That is your game. You can bring this up because it is pretty funny, but I don't want to talk about it.
Do you want me to talk about it?
It's all on you, baby. You might as well,
Okay.
since we're teasing the audience.
Yeah. Plus, this is the video games episode, which I'm all for that because I mean, at the end of the day, you and I.
It's
love
January.
video
There's nothing
games.
else to do but play video games.
So true. So true. It's literally it's boring. There's nothing going on.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I'll start this off on kind of a somber note. When I'm not doing well mentally, I'll just start jumping to different video games in search of something that will awaken my spirit. You know, so I normally end up playing games that I haven't played for a long time or never have played, or like they're sitting in my backlog. And I think we all do that, but I do it to like a hyper obsessive extent. and it's kind of bad for me. But luckily, one of the games I did that with this season was DC Universe Online, which
I'll put it on screen. Or
yeah,
I mean, the editor will. You can look at
you
it.
should. You should put a time era specific JPEG. Put a JPEG from when it first came out in the same resolution and everything.
360p gameplay.
Exactly.
Should I put spinning Babingo on screen?
Please do. You have the video I sent you of him.
Yes. Yeah. Here's spinning Babingo.
There
this
he is.
Hayden's
it's
character.
My baby. I love him. If the DCUO community learns about this podcast and that I'm spinning Babingo, we're going to get a bunch of comments of people calling me nasty things because I queue up for raids and I speak in the third person and I say, Babingo wants to kill the boss. And people fucking hate
me. Get this fucking guy out of the server, bro.
There was one time where a bunch of guys who were role playing as Teen Titans, they were like, "You're an honorary Teen Titan, Babingo," and I said, "Babingo is so warmed by your graciousness." But so just a short recap of the game and how I got back into it. So DCUO released like over a decade ago. And it was one of the first MMOs to really capitalize on the fact that it could be played on consoles as well as on PC with really no difference in content or, like how it runs or the community or anything, which made it really appealing for a lot of people. And I think that's what gave the game so much merit. And it's gone through. It's a MMO that's over a decade old. So it's had a huge community. It's had a bunch of updates. They're close to like 50 episodes. And anyways, I had a character on my Steam account named Spinning Babingo, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot about this guy. So I got him leveled up and then, started doing like the post classic game content. And I do this thing when I get really into video games where I start to tell people like, hey, come play this with me. Hey, come play this with me. And my friends hate it because they'll do that and then I'll play for 2 weeks with them. But because it took them so long to say yes, I'm already nearing the end of my rope with my time with that game and I'm ready to move on. And then I leave them in the dust. It's a huge problem. So I didn't do that this time because I didn't want to annoy anybody. And I started getting Steam messages and Discord messages. And they were like, hey, why are you playing DC Universe Online? And why do you have 72 hours in it in the past 2 weeks? And I'm like, And then all of a sudden, all the people that I normally play with are making DC Universe Online characters except for Alex.
I'm watching all these people that I associate with, like, turn to the evil side before my eyes. And I'm the only one left. I'm the only one in the light right now.
You legitimately are. Out of the people that we play games with the most, I figured that you and my fiance were gonna stand firm.
Did your cousin join?
Yeah, he made a furry.
Really?
Awesome.
The cousin that starts with E?
Yeah.
Wow.
He made a furry that wears like he wears like briefs, and he has high-heeled latex, like thigh-high boots.
Oh my god! That sounds
and he's
very erotic.
Yeah,
for who he is.
He has wraparound shades, and he uses an assault rifle. And he has no shirt.
The only thing that started to convince me was the idea of making a dumbass furry that has 2 pistols and just goes around and blasts everything. That was like the only twinge of
really should.
Of like, maybe I should, like, just to do that, but I've still stood firm for now.
You can make a female fox with dual pistols that can fly.
What year did this come out?
I think it came out 2011, I think.
Okay. A little late to the furry archetype that I was thinking of Crystal from Star Fox, but
yeah. Well, like, so when the game came out, DC Universe had this very like Jim Lee art style, which he's famous for doing the 90s X-Men, and that's, the X-Men designs that a lot of people are very familiar with. And he did Batman for a while and like really beautiful Batman stuff. And now I think he's the president of DC Comics or the CEO or some kind of, I'd have to look. I know that he's in charge, but I just don't know the exact title. But anyways, like, he's a legend. I love him. I think most people love him. He's really great. But because his art style is so great, that was the kind of art style that I feel like the game was leaning towards. So and then also it's an Unreal 3. It's in Unreal Engine 3. So it has this kind of like gritty but also comic art style that's really dated. Funny enough, there's people on the forums of the game and they're like, when are you going to put it on PS5? You told us you were going to put the game on PS5 and you still haven't done it yet. And like, they're pissed. They're really mad about it. It's just so funny.
The only thing, there's nothing to play on PS5. They have to look towards DCO to finally get something.
Dude, DCUO should do that because they also put the game on Switch and it bolstered their player numbers like a lot. Like there's a good amount of people who play the game on Switch.
That is, so I actually didn't know it was on Switch. That's impressive.
I'm telling you, it really matters to the team, and I think this is super commendable, because so many MMOs are only on PC, and it doesn't mean that they're not accessible. It just means that there's a whole group of gamers that just aren't going to play it. It just is what it is. Gamers. But I think it's gaming. Yeah, shout out to Matt Booty, shout out to Phil Spencer, shout out to Banjo, shout out to Kazooie, shout out to Conker. Those are all the people in charge of Microsoft.
Shout out to Christina Applegate.
Whoa! Wait, didn't we already do that?
We probably already did that. I'm not putting it on screen.
All right, cool. But anyways, yeah. So I just think it's very admirable of Daybreak, which they're in charge of DCUO. I think it's really cool that they want to keep it on consoles so badly, because it helps the game stay alive. And I don't know if there's like cross profile or ever, like I don't know if I can boot up Spinning Babingo on my Switch or anything, but if I can, I'm definitely gonna keep that in the back of my head.
Can you even though you're cross-playing with you're cross-playing with console, right? Or no?
I think so. It's hard to tell because and that's the other thing. There's a voice chat. So so some people voice chat and you're like, oh, they are definitely playing on an Xbox because it sounds just like people talking in Call of Duty. Like you can hear their kid crying in the background and like their fan
battery is low.
And you can hear the cops knocking at the door. Like you can hear all this shit.
The domestic violence in the background.
Yeah. And then there are some people who like you can tell that they are like X Warcraft, X RuneScape,
They're locked
because
in.
like they're constantly at like the trade hall. They're constantly brokering their items, looking for a group, talking about joining up. They're making burner accounts just to have like one superpower or one class. And it's hard to make the distinction because like there's a $10 a month membership thing, right? And it doesn't necessarily like open the game up by any means. It just allows you to join clans. Like that's the biggest selling point is that you can join clans and you can get cosmetic rewards. So if you don't have a membership pass, it's kind of just like I'm just walking around. I'm completely by myself. No one, chooses to group up with me. It's just weird. So I'm just like a witness to all this stuff, So I don't know. I'm just rambling now. It's such a crazy game.
So you just like, because you weren't a member, you're just like not really relevant.
Yeah, kinda. And like people can invite you to a clan. You can't make your own, but like it's hard to make friends in DCUO because if they're a console player, they're not going to read text chat. If you're not queued up with them, like if you're not in their group, if you're not in their party, you can't do voice chat. I think people forget that emotes exist, which is a shame because Spinning Babingo is emotive as fuck. He breakdances a lot. Maybe I should send you a video of Spinning Babingo breakdancing so you can put it in here.
I'll put it in.
He's
as
really
like
good at
introduction card. Yeah.
The intro card is my DCUO character that we took 40 minutes to talk about. Oh. Well, okay. So, anyways, I don't have to talk about DCUO the whole time.
I think it was worth bringing up. It's relevant to you. It's relevant to our viewers.
It is. I was gonna say a bunch of our viewers have been playing with me, and yeah. I'll tell you this. So, if you're listening to this and you haven't played yet, you have to really, really think about if you want to play or not. Because let's see, my fiance, my cousin, a friend of ours. I've played with them and each three of them has said this game is really complicated and I don't want to play anymore. Like within 2 hours.
My God.
I know, because there's an anniversary event, so they were giving level skips out to everybody. So it might have been too much all at once, but it's still it's an extremely convoluted game. It's unnecessarily convoluted. But yeah,
when I don't even know if I want to bring this up, but when we started playing StallCraft,
yeah,
with our big G is what we'll call him.
Big G, we love Big G. Yeah. He's great.
It was because I kept playing StallCraft a little bit after I made a new character. I didn't touch the one that we had.
Oh.
I kept playing a little bit to because I kind of liked it.
Yeah, it's fun.
We were playing during like an event, so the map was all snowy. It's apparently not usually snowy, which makes me sad. And it was like a full big event thing where a lot of like free shit was being handed out all the time. So all the progression was like disrupted. And that game is also an MMO and also pretty convoluted.
Yeah. I was picking that up.
And I eventually dropped it because I think that the more you get into it, the more toxic it gets, because it's kind of a Tarkov MMO. Or no, not Tarkov, Stalker MMO. Stalker Minecraft
well, but
MMO.
It has those like exfil elements, where like you lose your shit and you get robbed and you fight over loot and
Yeah, I saw a lot of reviews and people talking about how like the late game is basically just like you either get ran up by like a group of 9 people or somebody just insta kills you with a sniper from somewhere you'd never be able to see. And I was like, this is probably not worth the time.
We were mobbing. It was you and I and Big G. And we met a random who we thought was our friend. Mm-hmm. And he was helping us. He was helping us low levels out because we were in the hub world, just like fucking screaming at people. We were inviting them to our party so that we could voice chat with them. And then Big G was fucking with his mic so the gain was up way high.
Oh my god! I forgot how fucking loud he was. Holy shit, that was so funny.
It was ear shattering, but he was still perfectly legible. So someone would join the party, and Big G would go in the voice chat and say hello. And he would blast their ears out.
His mic was so fucking loud, but he's not really a loud person. He talks pretty mild-manneredly. So it was just loud as fuck, but his words were not aggressive.
Yeah. And eventually we got a random to come with us and go do missions. But it's like Stalker, and so if you've played Stalker, you'll know that anomalies happen on the overworld and, they can kill you and it sucks. There's little like kind of like vortexes and little tornadoes, like tempests kind of, and it sucks. It is what it is. And when you're playing Stalker, you reload the save. But when you're playing StallCraft, you respawn, you take a hike, and you go get your shit back.
Yeah.
So the 3 of us, Alex, Big G, and I, we all died to anomalies, right? And we didn't know what happened to the random. What happened to the random, Alex? Oh, and this was all after we all 4 of us went to go cap a supply drop as a team.
Yeah, so
he definitely couldn't have done it without us.
There was a Rust supply drop so StallCraft, you pick a side. There's 2 different sides. There's the bandits and the stalkers. Yeah. And you guys, the 2 factions will fight in the overworld, and fellow stalkers can help out and stuff. So there was a world event where the 2 clans have to fight over a supply drop for some pretty valuable supplies. And us and this random who had definitely been like playing the game for a long time, we ran the supply drop. We fought someone, we won, we got all our shit back. And while we were hitching it back to home base, we all got, all 3 of us, all individually got swept up in a vortex and died.
Yeah.
At separate points. And I believe it was either you or it was Big G who all got our stuff back, but then died again. And the random eventually just like left our party, and we never saw our stuff again. We tried to go back and get it. We could not find it, even on our death marker. So that motherfucker led us through we trusted him, and he took our shit and ran with it. And we stopped playing that night, and I don't know how impactful it was, but it was like, wow, that sucked.
I mean, Big G and I haven't picked it up since that night. And I don't think it's out of like rage, but I do think it's out of defeat. You know what I mean? Because we were so new to the game. We were doing something that was so late game as new game players that we kind of lost all of our good shit. And we didn't have a bunch of cash to fall back on.
Yeah.
It just kind of sucked.
It was And it was right around the holidays, so everyone kind of split, and no one picked it up. And I played StarCraft mostly during the holidays while I was at my grandparents' house, and didn't really play much after that. It was actually pretty memorable, but I'm okay never touching it again. I think I'll keep it installed for now, but.
Yeah, I think I also have it installed. And I have the first Stalker installed too, because I still need to beat it. I just got to the part in Stalker where it starts to get scary, and I can't I can't beat the level.
I want to like Stalker, but the gameplay is way too European and way too old that I kind of just get turned off and frustrated. So
the beginning of the first game is so slow.
Yeah. I'm excited for the new one though, because I think it's going to be modern sensibilities whenever that comes out. And I like the universe. I like how gritty and grungy it is. And I think there's some VR Stalker likes that I do want to check out. It's just most VR games are A, hard to play, and B, expensive. So
yeah, and scary. I wouldn't want to like.
I guess so.
The things I'm fighting in the first Stalker right now, like they're little like quadrupedal, like fast moving, and I don't want to deal with. I was earlier in the game. I was just running out in open fields, just shooting guys who were speaking Slavic languages in the head. And then the second I open some dark and dingy hatch, there comes the fucking horrors from hell.
Yeah,
it's like
even Stallcraft, even though. Put this on screen. The character models are the worst thing you've ever seen in your life. They're the ugliest things ever.
It's because credit to them. It was originally a Minecraft mod, so they just didn't want to stray. Yeah, they just didn't want to stray from the aesthetic. But please continue.
There's still like opportunities. I didn't meet many of the cryptids at the time that I played, but there was a few times I got jumped by some pretty freaky like mutated animals that did legitimately make me jump. So I didn't even really think about the idea of getting scared in VR, but it probably sucks.
Yeah, but eventually I'll beat Stalker 1, and then I'll move on to 2 and then 3. Like that's the issue I have with games is I buy the whole franchise and I really earnestly do want to play through it, especially if I get engaged in it. Like I like Stalker, but I just, like I said earlier in the show, I'm flippant. I go through my games very quickly and sporadically. Like I'm 2 achievements away from 100%ing Mafia Remastered. I just picked that game up just for shits and giggles. I ended up getting really into it for some reason. It was giving me achievements for breathing, and I was like, "Oh, I like this. This feels good." And even though I'm 2 achievements away from 100%ing it, I'm like, I have no desire to play it whatsoever. And it's still installed too, so I don't know what I'm doing.
Humble Bundle kept giving you the Yakuza games, and God knows you'll ever get into that. And I don't really blame you. I really enjoy the Yakuza games, and I'm currently fighting my way through Yakuza 7 so I can play Infinite Wealth because that's gonna come out soon.
Yeah,
and I think it's because I just wanted to say that Yakuza games have a really good places. Like their depictions of a lot of places in Japan are very nice and very accurate. So for them to do Hawaii, like Honolulu is a place I've been several times. And so I know a lot of these locations. I'm like very excited to dig into that just to see these places digitized.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I mean, that's like how GTA 5 players felt when they were like, "Oh, this is the boardwalk," and oh my god, this is the beach, look at the beach, and then oh my god, this is the alleyway where I got a tug job. Look.
Los Santos is like a chibi-fied Los Angeles, which I've also been to. So I did enjoy I did also enjoy that because I've been to Los Angeles when I played GTA 5.
Yeah, God, I love GTA
Los
5.
Angeles is way too big to be depicted like that. And I don't really know where I don't know what Paleto Bay is supposed to be, but I also haven't really been on the Southern California coast a whole lot.
It's supposed to be Arizona. just a bunch of fucking backwoods hicks in double wides shooting each other and driving ATVs.
Yeah, that's modern day Phoenix, basically.
Phoenix is 2 years away from turning into a Mad Max desert where everyone has like spinners and like rippers on their wheels and they just fucking kill each other for water and basic necessities.
Yeah, once the climate change gets it a little too hot, people, it's gonna go straight to their heads, and it's gonna be fucking The Purge the whole time. Or
Honestly,
Project Zomboid, I guess.
Ooh, Zomboid. See, that's one of my fiance's favorites.
You know what?
She loves Zomboid.
I fell asleep last night to a 2-hour video explaining the lore to Project Zomboid.
I knew that there was some preamble, but there's 2 hours worth of lore, or do you think he padded it?
No, it was I think I fell asleep at the 45-minute mark, but it was basically a play-by-play. Apparently there's a Twitter that recounts the events in live in like or at least did.
I see.
There's like a day-by-day basis in which things happen in that world.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of interesting because it reminds me of like the way that people would catalog the Black Mesa incident and
I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot like that, I think.
I love that video. And I think there's like 3 or 4 videos because now at this point, like a bunch of people have done it. And some people did it like with Black Mesa while others did it with the classic, like, you know, Gold Source games.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the videos that are like 5 hours long and it's all of the Half-Life games happening as they would in like real time. You know, I don't know why. Like that's such a simple idea in theory, but it's so awesome.
They're so fun to watch. And I really don't know how much of it is conjecture or like made up to pad the time, but there's a lot of like extra tidbits in those videos that's just so entertaining to watch. It's so scary and creepy.
Yeah. If you really think about the 7-hour war, and it really puts Half-Life 2 into perspective. I mean, I don't know if you don't mind me going on a tangent here, but in the year of our Lord 2023, I played Half-Life 2 for the first time. I have played Half-Life 1 a good amount of times. I've played Black Mesa a good amount of times. I really, really love the first Half-Life. I think it's an excellent game. I haven't even beaten Half-Life 2 yet because I dislike it so intensely.
It's unfortunate, truthfully.
I feel bad, and like I've thought that I've had hot takes in video games before, and they really aren't. I didn't think that this was a hot take because Half-Life 1 and 2 are vastly different games. So I didn't think I would upset anyone by saying I'd like 1 more than 2 significantly. But I've gotten people who never get upset at me. They're legitimately upset at me.
It's
like,
very hot.
Did you even get a chance? Yeah.
And I don't like it either. Yeah. I don't fight him, but I think it's a beta male take. I think you're subhuman.
I'll take that. Every podcast, someone needs to be the beta in the podcast. Someone needs to be the bottom, and I'll take that role. That's fine. I should start wearing a t-shirt that says voluntary bottom.
Don't do that.
What do you think?
Don't do that.
And then on the back, it has my natural tears icon.
And your full address.
Contact me. But yeah. So anyways, Half-Life 2 just doesn't ring a bell for me. I just met Odessa and I shot down the helicopter. I'm doing the beach drive and I was like, no. And I've heard when you get closer to confronting Breen that the game can get a little bit more cinematic and interesting.
I think Nova Prospect is probably the big like
cool.
Peak where like after that point all of it's pretty linear and very cinematic.
Yeah,
especially the assault on Nova Prospect, I think it's kind of like, I want to say it's a little like Call of Duty, like the way that you like storm it and like there's all these things that happen in front of you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, so things happening in front. I will say the game's atmospheric as fuck, which is awesome. Like there's so many little things going on. Like at the beginning of the game when you're running through and all the civilians are like crying and you're in their apartment buildings and like they're all run down and they're looking out the windows and they're having conversations with each other. Like that's awesome, you know? But the game is just, I don't know, doesn't ring with me. But I might have cut you off. I'm sorry.
I don't think so. I don't have any trail after that.
Okay.
Other than just
I just
praising Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
I want to give
fucking chill.
There's a sweet, for all the Half-Life fans, there's a really, on paper, right? It's stupid, but because it's a kind of a Gary's Mod source engine horror ARG. But if you like YouTube horror, you got to check out the Interloper series. I'll put the thing on screen, just I guess like an image or something. But the Interloper series is a very cool fake little ARG of the Source engine of like this like leftover code in the game that when you run it on a specific day, it does this weird like demo generation thing, which is affected by which game you're playing. And there's like a connecting story of like a really old like Finnish experimental AI service that went offline that has some history, and is like it kind of culminates into this idea where all of the Source games are literally connected, where you no clip off into the void long enough, you'll go to like a TF2 map, even if you were playing like
even if you were like playing
Day of Defeat Source.
Oh yeah,
shit like that. It's super cool, and the presentation is amazing. Because it's kind of edited. It's presented as a mystery, as if it was real. And takes user input, but it's kind of also edited in a way where it's like, yeah, this is like a show.
All right.
I rewatched all of that, and it's still going on, and it's very cool. Cool. If you wanted to give it the time of day, Hayden, I think you'd like it too.
Oh, I probably will, from what you described. And then, I mean, I think you and I do this to each other all the time, where just the fact that it's being recommended by one of the people means that the other one's going to check it out. You know what I mean?
If you don't check it out, you're not a tier 3 sub.
Well, I don't have to be, because I collect the tier 3 sub money. So
yeah, you take your fucking 90%, asshole.
But you mentioned Day of Defeat, and it just made me think about our Call of Duty conversation earlier. You know, I think that if Valve is gonna piss away all their opportunities with CS2, and they're gonna let TF2 fall to the wastes, and they're clearly not gonna make another Portal game. Like, I love Portal, but it's just not gonna happen. I really truly think it's just not gonna happen.
I don't think so either. There's nothing like left for them to do there.
Yeah. And I don't even really think they have to add anything to Portal. I think, because I'm a big Portal fan. Weirdly enough, I had never beaten Portal 1 also until 2023, but I beat it, and it's not hard to beat. It's quick. I know, right? Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
I owned Portal 2 on PS3, and then it came with a Steam code that I redeemed like a couple years later, and I put it on Steam. And so I was just always playing Portal 2, and it was really easy to stay doing that because there's workshop maps and there's co-op maps, and the story is worth replaying like at least 5 times. I love the story in that game. And that's another Valve game that succeeds in being amazingly atmospheric. Like when you start to go down to old Rapture, and you got the Cave Johnson voice lines and the gels.
Rapture?
And, these... Oh, did I say Rapture? I meant to say Aperture.
BioShock on the mind, boy.
I'm always thinking about BioShock, especially with Judas on the way. Judas looks sick.
I saw that.
It looks really good. I'm excited. Anything that Ken Levine does, I will be there for it. BioShock's another one of my first games, along with Modern Warfare 2, because my sister bought it at GameStop because she thought it looked cool, and she was like, yeah, I can get into this. And then the first 5 minutes of the game scared her so badly that she was like, I don't want to play BioShock anymore. And so I played it, and the entire rest of the game is not as scary as the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So... her loss, my gain. I'm a lifelong Fallout fan. Or not Fallout. God damn. Wow. Anyways, I'm a lifelong BioShock fan now.
Todd Howard on the brain?
Todd Howard's brain on the brain. Ooh. I want to give Todd Howard brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's one of the only game developers where I can look at and I can be like, that's a guy.
A man.
He and Andreas Hall-Penninger with Payday 3. They are two good looking. And Almir, oh my God, Payday 3 team has some lookers.
Oh yeah, those Swedish boys are built different. That's for sure.
They should raise money for fixing the game by doing like a fashion show.
They should do a swimsuit car wash.
They really should.
Like
I would drive my car to Sweden to get it washed, and then I would drive it back.
Do you think Almir would put his big hairy man tits on your windshield?
One could hope. I would give him a Sprite and a hot dog if he did.
Put Almir eating the Sprite and hot dog on screen. Yes.
I'd give him a 12-pack of Sprites and a tray of hot dogs, and I would just hope that he would give his whole body to my car.
Overkill, you better be taking notes here, because these are some $1 million ideas.
That's true. For how much we talk about Payday 3, I think we should take the spot. We could do double the work for one person's pay. There's one Payday 3 creator that I think should get kicked to the curb because he stinks.
Give
Alex
us his
and I
cut.
will take the spot.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, we'll run the social media and we'll do a damn good job doing it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You want the narrative back in your favor? Just run it through us. Natural Teals LLC.
Yeah. Use the email that we put on screen earlier.
Yes.
If you're at Starbreeze and you're listening to this, use the email.
Just reach out to us. We'll respond ASAP.
Yeah. And then also, if you're at Starbreeze and you're listening to this, how come you guys haven't answered? I sent you guys like 2 emails. This isn't a joke, by the way. I really did send them 2 emails because I guessed the release date and I sent them an email and I said, hey, did you guys know that I guessed the release date? And they never responded to me. And I guess maybe it's like weird to think that they would, but my feelings are kind of hurt. You know what I mean? I used a lot of mental power to guess.
It was a good email. Convincing.
It was a good email. I was really respectful.
Yeah.
I told them, I was like, hey, I didn't have any leaks. Every single time somebody asked me, I just lied out my ass. Like, I don't think I hurt the publicity of the game because the only people that responded to me were like, I don't want to sound rude. And I know it's going to sound funny when I say I don't want to sound rude after what I'm just about to say. But the only people that were responding to my Twitter messages were actual brain dead morons that believed me.
Cannot say
like
that.
I have 7 followers. I'm sorry, but I have 7 followers on Twitter. And for like 3 months, actually more than 3 months straight, all I was doing was going to the Payday 3 comment section and saying, I can't wait for it to come out on September 18th. And people would be like, how do you know that? And it's like, dude, come on. Like, really? Really?
You even got one of the brainlit Payday partners to
I did. Yeah. And he put me in his YouTube video.
Yeah. There's this guy where he said that the game was going to come out on the 18th, and we don't have anything to confirm that, but we wanted to show you.
See, that's why I think Starbreeze should let us in on his spot. Because he's a paid Payday 3 partner that gets early access to this shit. And not only does he bitch and moan about it and say that it sucks, which we do too, but at least we're objectively fair about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think everyone knows that it sucks, but at least we try and be respectful and we know and appreciate the team. This guy's just an asshole. So not only does he do that, but also he gives credits to a tweet that has 1 reply and 4 likes. And he's like, I want to make sure that all my audience knows about that this could be a possibility.
I went to PaydayCon 2014. Guess who didn't? Him. I don't want to even give him his name.
Yeah.
All right. So
that's like my story when they gave me Big Bank on a card.
They gave him Big Bank. All right. I went to PaydayCon 2014. I met Vlad as like a 13-year-old.
Oh, that's crazy, actually.
Vlad and soon to be Sydney before she was in the game.
Really?
And Chains.
How was she affiliated with the game before she was
Sydney? They were like, we're gonna add her, but she's not out yet. Oh, so she's here.
It's kind of sneaky then.
Yeah, she was good.
Oh, that's cool.
I feel like it. They were like, she's the next female heister, and she's here. She's not in the game yet, so you guys get a sneak peek or something. And she was Australian.
That's cool for the fans. I can appreciate it.
It was cool.
That.
I remember, oh man, I should, if I found any good images of it, I want to put it up. But PaydayCon 2015, it was cool. It was in like it was next to PAX West in Seattle, happening alongside it. And I remember it was in like a rented out like club or bar or something.
Ooh.
I can't remember somebody. It was Dallas or it was Vlad. They were like smashed because there was alcohol there, even though it was an all ages venue. And they had like consoles playing the console ports of Payday 2, like available for people to play, and nobody was really playing it because it's like the worst way to play Payday 2. Yeah, but they were up on little stands that you'd see at most gaming conventions, and it's all pretty fuzzy, but it was mostly just like kind of just shooting the shit. I think Sydney was the main announcement then, or the Clover. Cool. I gotta remember. I don't think it was Clover. I mean, it had to have been Sydney or Bonnie. I mean,
Clover came first, and then it was Bonnie and Sydney, if I remember correctly. But I
Bonnie
imagine
was
if you're saying 2014,
Sydney.
2015, I think that Sydney was 14, 15 around that time. But my Payday 2 timeline is so foggy because I did the thing that I think most Payday 2 players do, where you play a bunch for like 3 months and you catch up on all the DLC when it goes on sale. Then you take a big break, and then you come back and you catch up on all the DLC while it's on sale, and you play for like another 3 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least I did that all the time, and I think, I mean, kind of feels like sometimes you did too, but you were always playing more Payday 2 than me. Always.
Yeah. I mean, I play things in waves anyway, so that's mostly what it was like. Yeah, when I look it up, I'll have to see if I can build a better timeline here. I still have my signed Houston mask from Houston. It says "Don't Act Dumb" on it.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Which I feel like is a little bit of a more like valuable relic than I think I realized for the longest time. It's under my house now.
I mean, like, I don't, obviously we don't know anything about Payday 3 except when the release date is, and that was pure speculation. I'm a little concerned that they might not bring back Houston, not because it's not in their game plan, but like, and I don't want to sound pessimistic, and I don't want to will this into existence. So please know I'm actively rooting against this possibility. Honestly, I think they might run out of financial runway if they don't add something to the game because like the DLC I know is not selling well because it's overpriced and it's pissing people off. Yeah, and like so I just think if they don't make a change that nets them like a decent amount of money, then they might have to, either we're going to get stuff way slower or we're not going to get stuff that they had planned for, and that's the unfortunate truth of game development is it's a very artistic and creative and passion driven industry. But at the end of the day, they need so much money. They need a lot of money for fair wages and for equipment and for software and for office space and for electricity and internet.
Workers' rights. not as a point of like judgment, but literally just because Swedish worker rights are very in the workers' favor. Yeah. Like the big Swedish July vacation.
Yeah.
But no offense there, because Sweden produces some pretty sick games. Payday,
like Killing Floor,
Satisfactory.
I didn't know that game was Swedish. I still have yet to get into it.
It's a big commitment, and I don't want to get into it now. But I think Deep Rock is Dutch. I don't remember.
They're somewhere. They're somewhere.
When I ordered the Deep Rock board game, I think it was coming from Deutschland it was like Germany.
Did it smell like it?
Or Sweden. I can't remember.
Did the package smell like it?
Did it smell like Deutschland?
I mean, what did it smell like? Did it smell like, freshly baked goods? Did it smell like clean water?
It smelled like an empty Hennessy bottle.
Oh, that's actually badass. That's classy. That's like James Bond in a tux, That's classy.
An empty Hennessy bottle. It's James Bond in a tux.
Well, I mean, because I imagine like smelling an empty Hennessy bottle, right? It's not all that like really intense whiff. It's just like it's like an aftershave.
Subtle.
It's a nice little tinge. Yeah. It's respectable.
You
know what else is respectable?
What?
Ending the podcast on time.
I believe so. This one ran pretty long and pretty dense. We just kept yapping. These motherfuckers won't stop yapping about these dumbass games, bro.
Man, I turned on a podcast and they wouldn't shut the fuck up. What the hell? But yeah, so
that was anyways, this was the Phil Spencer episode. Thank you, Phil Spencer.
Yeah.
Here's an in memorandum Phil Spencer little card that Hayden made here. Thank you, Phil Spencer.
Yep.
That was very we love him. And we love you.
We don't know when Phil Spencer is going to leave this earth, but when he does, we want to make sure that we have a tasteful in memorandum. So we're actually just going to close out this episode on a moment of silence for Phil. We love you, man. Thanks for everything you did for the industry.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Matt Booty.
Putting my thighs together.
Thank you, Donald Mustard.
Wait, is that a real person?
Donald Mustard?
Yeah,
he works for
Epic.
I think.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Clue character.
Colonel Mustard?
Yeah.
No, Donald Mustard. Yeah, I'm gonna hold on. Now I have to look it up. I'm looking this up live. Oh fuck! I don't have Google open.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Hayden, you look up Donald Mustard right now.
Oh, but it's gonna clack my keyboard, and everyone's gonna be able to hear it.
Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah, he's the okay. According to the Fortnite wiki,
Whoa.
which is definitely not biased at all.
Yeah.
Donald Mustard is a spearheading figure
Whoa.
in the community of Fortnite, often heading operations and presentations on the game, showcasing it off to fans through his Twitter account. He is also well known for teasing upcoming events and content, including but not limited to Predator, Superman, and Midas being alive. Wow. What a guy.
Donald Mustard on screen.
Yeah, fucking kick Phil Spencer, get his in memorandum out of here, blow it out of the water, and just have it with Donald Mustard and machine guns and soaring eagles.
All right.
And then close the podcast because Alex and I are done talking to you, listener. And it's time for you to shut this shit off because we don't want to talk to you anymore. Yeah, go to hell.
Unless you're subbed. In that case, thank you.
Thank you.
Love
Bye.
you.
Thank you for the money. Bye. Bye. Love you.
Bye. Love you. Bye. 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 Love you. Bye.